I have your permission to record this call and publish on YouTube, Perry?
Yes, you can.
Perfect. The reason for the call is we want to improve and, of course, use your experiences with Keila so that we can be better realtors in the future with other clients as well. So, how did you meet Keila?
Keila and I worked together about 5 or 6 years ago when she was a poker dealer at the South Point Poker Room, and I was the graveyard shift manager. I was impressed by her professionalism, and we became friends. And when I needed to sell my house, I decided to use her because of her professionalism with our former relationship.
Ooh. Once you signed up with her, what was your experience like?
It was very good. Keila took the bull by the horns. I was not living in town where my house was, so she took the initiative to make sure the house was presentable, to make sure that we were properly priced, to make sure the comps were correct, and that her photography of the neighborhood was such that we would have a very good first impression for any buyers who were looking to get into a home like mine.
Steve, could you shed more light around her work ethics?
Well, I never had a problem getting a hold of Keila. My personal experience in Las Vegas, was I have bought and sold 15 houses in the city over the 23 years that I lived there. And what I found was there was a certain amount of lethargicness when it came to certain real estate agents once they would get the listing. That wasn't the case with Keila. She was very aggressive on top of a lot of things, and she even had to push the buyer's agent to do things, and she was happy to do it. She was available to me before business hours and after business hours, and even on weekends, because she wanted to take care of me, her client.
And so if you could give her a star rating, what would it be? And could you shed more light on whether you would use her again or refer her to other people?
Well, since you didn't tell me if 1 star is good or 5 stars is good, I'll assume 5 is the best, and I'll give her a 5. I was very happy with the experience. When people ask me who they would use for a real estate agent, I will suggest Keila. I think she's very prepared. I think she's very professional. And I think she's very aggressive in terms of getting the property sold and moving ahead once you have a deal on the table. And that's the key. You know, buyers understand and sellers understand that this is a 4 to 6 week process. And so what we want to know is we want to be kept updated. Keila was amazing at that. I heard from her every day or every other day about what was going on, even if nothing was going on, just to keep me and give me peace of mind in the process. So I think that anybody, especially a new home buyer or a new home seller, would do really well to have Keila as their agent.
Could you share with us like your past experiences with other realtors before Keila?
Well, interestingly enough, Keila was the first woman I had as a real estate agent. And I found that the guys that I worked with, and this is probably not true for all guys, but the ones I worked with were, for lack of a better term, part of the good old boy network. They'd want to go out and have a drink. They'd want to, talk about sports and things like that. And while that's fine, I wasn't looking, even though Keila and I are friends, I wasn't looking for a friend. I was looking for a professional to take care of my business. And I found her to be incredibly professional, whereas I've had some problems with agents in the past. And even the guy that I had for years, who was my agent on 10 houses I bought, I ended up firing. I won't mention his name, because when I went to sell some of the houses, he would push off the work that needed to be done, whereas Keila would do all the work herself. So I found her incredibly professional. And should I do a real estate deal in Las Vegas or in anywhere in Nevada again, she will be involved in it.
Amazing. And if there were 3 areas where Keila could improve, what would be those 3 things?
I haven't really given that much thought, to be perfectly honest with you. I can't really tell you any. Her communication skills now my communication skills aren't working. Incredibly good at keeping in touch with me, the seller. She was very good at staying on top of the buyer. I have no complaints. So really, I'm sorry I can't give you an answer to that question. I'm sure there's areas she could improve. I just don't know them. And maybe they don't pertain to me. Maybe it's something like prospecting or some other things that just really don't pertain to someone who's under contract.
And one final message to Keila.
Yeah, tell her that the Chiefs suck, and I don't care if Sal knows it.
Perfect. She was just talking about that.